Hey, welcome back to the Shayne and I Show. My name is Shayne.
Max. Walls have paint, and so do ceilings.
I thought you were going to say, so do I.
And so do I. That would have been better. I'm Max. Walls have paint, and so do I.
Yeah, I'm going to crack up with a soda real quick.
Hey,
so
me
just
too.
hang in there. There we go. Yeah, man. We are a bi-weekly-ish podcast, but it's been about, I think our last episode was released like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we're the ish one.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Sometimes the ish gets it. Sometimes we do.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm not tripping on it now.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to pay me a bunch of money,
we'll fucking be
we'll
right
fucking
on time.
we'll be on time every fucking week.
Yeah, listen, people, you pay, I'll be here same time, same place.
Same place every week. We'll talk a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to pay us.
Seriously, whoever's paying, we'll say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, you want us to talk about some stuff. Anyway, before I get too far into this, This is the podcast about nothing.
That makes you think of something.
And our podcast is sponsored by Mind Grinder Coffee.
That's right. Go to www.mindgrindercoffee.com.
You know, if you buy 2 bags of coffee
You
and
get
use code FREESHIPPING24 at checkout, you get free shipping.
free fucking shipping.
We got some stuff going on. We got some stuff in the works with the coffee. I might talk about it on this episode. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I got some stuff in the works. So you might want to start buying some coffee because pretty soon, you're going to be hearing a lot more of us, at least locally, I would assume.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, man, what's been going on, Max? Did we cover everything? We got the sponsor?
Yeah.
Free shipping.
Yeah.
Free shipping 24.
We haven't been sponsored by the Commerce and Tourism Board of Croatia for a while.
We have not.
Yeah.
What do they got to say?
Nothing. They stopped sponsoring us.
They stopped sponsoring us a long time ago. They got mad.
Yeah.
So last episode we left off with the question. See, I wrote notes.
Oh,
they
wow.
can't see, but I have. You can see.
I can see.
So it's been 3 weeks. It gives me time to write little notes about what I want to talk about.
Okay, great.
That way we're still a podcast about nothing, but we have some stuff to talk about that makes you think of something.
All right, there you go.
So I know last time we left off with the question.
Yes.
Do people actually play pickleball?
That was the question.
I've been dying to talk to you about this since then because I found out there's a pickleball court here in town.
I believe you.
So I went to this said pickleball court.
Yeah, were people playing?
No.
It was empty.
Empty
Pickleball court.
Empty pickleball court.
You know, I'm starting to think maybe this whole pickleball thing is a hoax, and the people behind it are the pickleball court industry, the people who make the pickleball courts.
I don't know, dude. It gets made fun of a lot on social media.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I believe that.
Like
too.
CrossFit. You remember how CrossFit used to get made fun of a lot on social media? It's like that.
It's like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Where people are always talking about pickleball leagues and what's going to happen. I have not seen one actual human aside from being on social media playing actual pickleball.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. That said, I don't
And I've never met anybody that's like, bro,
pickleball.
Bro, we're going to go get the boys together. We're going to throw down a pickleball game. Throw back a couple 40s. Fucking throw back a couple 40s while we're playing.
I don't think people throw back 40s while they play pickleball.
Dude, I think it's a frat guy thing.
I don't think it is. I don't think, and here's why I don't think it is.
Why?
You
tell me.
All right, I'm going to tell you why I don't think it's a frat guy thing. I think that frat guys, honestly, I thought I could come up with something.
Right.
And I'm drawing a big blank here. But
so I win.
Yeah, you win.
See, I think it's frat guys.
Yeah.
I think it's frat guys or maybe it's guys that tried getting in a frat, but couldn't actually get in a frat. You know, here's what it is. I just fucking figured it out.
Okay. Shayne just figured it out. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up.
It's guys that are not really good at sports, or people, I should say, because women play, I guess. As well.
Yeah, it's the new millennium, Shayne.
Yeah.
Be inclusive.
Yeah, I got to be inclusive. And so do
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I blinked there for a second. I might got a message. I got to reply to it here in a second.
Okay.
So I believe it's people that aren't really good at sports.
Mm-hmm.
they but think they're good at sports.
But think they're good at
Yeah.
sports.
They're not good at sports, but they think they're good at sports, and pickleball is that thing that gives them the dominance in a sport.
What if somebody who's good at sports shows up to the pickleball court?
They're going to be like, this is stupid.
The person who's good at
Yeah.
sports? What if they just enjoy a little dinky donk game?
Then they're going to just dominate. The people at the pickleball court are going to get pissed.
Yeah.
But there's somebody better than them.
Yeah.
That's only played once. Because if somebody's really good at sports,
Yeah.
you would only have to play once to figure out what the hell is going on. I mean, I don't even know what the rules are for pickleball, but I'm assuming it's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah, I'm also assuming that most sports, especially ones that like get really popular, you can figure out in one play.
Yeah.
Like at least the rules and the mechanics of it.
Yeah. I just think,
Being able to hit the ball with the bat or whatever is a
Right.
different kind of thing.
yeah, it's just great. And then since we talked about it on the last episode, right? I've been seeing more people making fun of it
All right.
on social media.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen somebody play, seen enough people make fun of it.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
I did.
I took a poll on Twitter,
Mhm.
split down the middle if it was a real sport or not. I took a poll on Instagram. I said, is it a real sport? Is it not a real sport? Do you care? People on Instagram did not care.
Okay. Yeah. I think I don't care.
I don't care either, but I'm fascinated by why it's such a big deal.
All right. I have a pickleball story, actually.
Yeah.
I do.
Tell you a pickleball story. Let me reply to this text.
Okay, you do that. All right, so here's the pickleball story. So apparently these pickleball courts can get a little loud. I guess it's the sound of the pickles being whacked or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so in San Francisco, there is a pickleball park with a bunch of courts somewhere, I guess. Anyway, there's a lady who lives close to a pickleball arena or whatever. And she's been
A pickleball arena?
whatever the fuck. I saw a picture. There was like 4 pickleball courts all next to each other. Anyway,
Were people actually playing?
in the picture,
Yeah.
I don't think so. No. Anyway,
See, this is what I mean.
anyway, so this lady has decided she's had enough of it. It's noisy, and she doesn't like this newfangled pickleball court that
They
they
had
put in
pickleball
her
players.
neighborhood.
Yes.
And so she's causing
All hours of the night.
She's causing a fuss. She's going to meetings and taking it to the city and all this shit. And she's trying to get the park closed down or changed or something. This bitch has a pickleball court
In her backyard?
Her backyard. She has this fancy schmancy San Francisco lady has a private pickleball court in her backyard. Do you know how much it costs just to own enough land in San Francisco to have a pickleball court and nothing else?
A lot.
That's like $1 million
Yeah.
worth of land in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And this lady's like,
But
no,
she doesn't want like regular, she doesn't want like wannabe sports people coming over and playing pickleball in her court.
okay, I understand that. That's not the point. She's trying to get rid of all the public neighborhood courts. She's
Why?
no, I get to play pickleball because,
But who's she going to play pickleball with if all the people that play pickleball aren't playing pickleball no more in her area?
honestly, now that I think about it, if she has the only pickleball court around, she'll be the belle of the ball.
The belle of the
belle
ball.
of the ball.
Now,
She'll be
here
the
would
most
Here
popular
would
kid
be
in
the
town.
question, though.
Yeah.
Does she actually play, or does she just have the court in the back?
That is a question because I haven't seen her play.
Right.
But this lady who is trying to get these pickleball courts taken out and closed down because she doesn't like people playing pickleball in her neighborhood has her own goddamn private pickleball
That's
court.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's like a guy complaining about a CrossFit gym in his area, complaining about a CrossFit gym because he has a CrossFit gym in his backyard.
Yeah.
I'm only comparing pickleball to CrossFit because they just seem so fucking similar to me. As a guy that did CrossFit, CrossFit gives you a belief that you're an actual athlete,
Okay.
even though you probably aren't.
Okay.
I think pickleball does the same thing.
Yeah. Well, look, first off, I'm going to say this right now. An athlete is more of a, right? It's an abstract to be an athlete.
And I'm not saying that as a person, like to people that are fucking really good at CrossFit, that train all the time, like average Joe fucking I go to CrossFit twice a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look, I've got an ultimate disc. If
Right.
I take it down to the local frisbee golf course
Right.
while I'm playing frisbee golf, I'm an athlete.
You're a frisbee golf athlete.
Yeah.
That's another one I don't get.
It's a fun game.
Frisbee golf.
But some people get way into it.
But I
They
know
have like
people.
a
But yeah,
dozen
I
discs
actually
and all
know.
that.
Besides you, I actually know people that play frisbee golf.
Yeah, I know
and
a
they're
lot of-
really fucking into it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like I've actually watched people play too.
Yeah.
Like you're at a park or something, all of a sudden a frisbee flings by you and hits a tree, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, just playing some frisbee golf."
Uh-huh.
That's actually real,
Yeah.
right? You don't got to
Pickleball.
be too athletic to do it.
Yeah. Pickleball, on the other hand.
Yeah, it's just a fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I have never seen anyone play pickleball.
I have never seen it either.
Yeah. It's a similar game, fun game that I enjoy playing.
What's that?
And I grew up mispronouncing it.
Uh
I grew up pronouncing it badminton,
oh.
but apparently it's called badminton.
Yes, and that's another one I've actually seen people play. I've actually played it.
That's a fun fucking game.
Yeah.
You got that little birdie
I
that
think
it
pickleball is-
moves
I
at
think
like 3
pickleball is
miles an
kind of-
hour. You whack it.
I think pickleball is kind of the same deal, but with a different kind of ball. I think pickleball is more like racquetball, except you don't get beamed with the ball like you used to in racquetball.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like badminton with a faster ball and a lower net.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, I kind of want to move on from this. I think we've kind of exhausted this one.
Have we?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I made my point,
All right.
maybe. But there was
I
another.
mean, what was the point?
I'm just so curious to find out if people. Hey, if you're out there and you're listening to this episode
And you play pickleball.
and you play pickleball, let me know if you really play pickleball.
Right. Don't just pretend.
Don't
to play
just
pickleball.
pretend.
Yeah.
Explain the rules to us so we understand that you actually play pickleball.
Okay, there's one problem with that.
What's that? You can Google the rules?
No, somebody could come up to us and just tell us some random shit and say they're the rules for
We'd be like,
pickleball.
okay.
We're not going to know any better.
Okay. Probably not.
Yeah, I do have a sport I want to talk about at some point.
Well, we're on the topic of sports.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just randomly change the topic into something else right now because I got someone else that I want to talk about, a couple other things.
So instead of
So
randomly
let's-
changing the topic to my thing, you're going to randomly change
No,
the topic
I
to
want to
your
change
thing?
I want to keep it on sports.
Oh, sports. Cool.
Yes, since you have something about sports you want to talk about,
yeah.
let's do your segment.
All right. It's not a whole segment. I'm really just going to bring this up and we can do a segment on it later because I just discovered this. It's called Jugger, Jugger.
What's that?
It's essentially a combination of rugby and medieval combat with foam weapons.
That actually, for some reason, do you have to dress in costumes?
No, but you can.
I mean, if you didn't have to dress in costumes, that actually sounds pretty fun.
You don't have to dress in costumes.
Do you have to speak all medievally?
No.
That actually sounds pretty fun.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You got fucking look it up. Jugger, Jugger.
Do you get to hit people and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Like, just like rugby style?
Well, no, not because rugby style, you can do like a closed fist fucking punch in the face. Yeah. And with Jugger, you're hitting each other with foam weapons. But, yeah.
Dude, I'd do it as long as I didn't have to, like, wear some stupid-ass medieval costume, like, Ren Fair style.
You can wear whatever the fuck you want.
See, that's the thing that bothered me about Ren Fair is fucking everybody would act like they're fucking...
Shayne. Okay, the people listening can't see my face.
I know.
But I want to when I say this in the tone of voice that I'm feeling I'm going to say it.
Are you a Ren Fair guy?
I'm not a Ren Fair guy, but Shayne, your problem with Ren Fairs is that people go to like pretend they're in the Renaissance times. That's what a Ren Fair is. That would be like saying, you know what my problem with like baseball games is?
It's
people go there and like, ooh, look at me, I'm gonna play baseball.
No,
they got the bat. And
no, the
glove.
problem with baseball games is people go there and they wear the shirt of an athlete that's actually playing the game, and they're not playing the game with the athlete's name on their back.
Yeah, that's how you show love to a pro athlete.
I don't know,
Shayne.
I've worn team apparel. I'm a Team Apparel guy.
Yeah.
I like doing it.
Yeah.
But I would never buy a Joe Montana jersey with Montana's name on my back.
All right. Do you think Joe Montana would take exception?
I don't think Joe Montana would care.
I think Joe Montana would care, but here's how I think Joe Montana would care. Because every time one of those shirts sells,
right,
Joe Montana gets a little something.
Right.
There,
Even
right?
if it's a shirt that I buy that says it's a 49er color, it says number 16 on it, but it just doesn't have his goddamn name on the back.
Yeah. Well, maybe he doesn't get anything there. Maybe he does. I don't know.
But no, my problem is not the act of the rent fair. My problem is like, either way I say this, I'm going to sound like a fucking asshole.
You are an asshole, so just out with it.
But my problem is the way people fucking get all fucking into it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just... See... I went to a rent fair. Here's the story.
Okay, all right.
Here's the story.
Okay.
I went to a rent fair out of costume.
Out of costume.
Costume. And I felt fucking out of place.
You felt out of place.
And they made fun of me because I was not in a costume. People that I would see normally on the street that were kind of geeky, kind of nerdy, who fucking ganged up on me and were trying to make fun of me for not wearing a costume because I thought the costumes were stupid. So, and this was back in the drinking days.
Okay.
So I proceeded to get really fucking drunk.
Naturally.
And make everybody's time miserable that I was with.
You dick.
Yeah. It was not a good experience. And I know they were just clowning around. But after that moment, I never wanted to go back to another rent fair.
Okay. Because of the deal with the rent fair, kind of. Unless you're just going to be a spectator, is you dress up and you role play a bit, and it's like a fun make-believe sort of thing. And then you eat a turkey leg and buy some fucking random shit and go home. Yeah,
the people I went with were really into it.
Yeah.
Really, they weren't even a part of it, and they dressed up.
You know how I would dress up at a rent fair?
How would you dress up as a rent fair?
I would get like a Star Trek uniform and pretend I was in one of those episodes where they go back in time. Yeah.
See, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we move on now?
No, because I'm going to tell you what Star Trek uniform.
Okay. Tell me what Star Trek uniform.
Yeah, it's going to be a Next Generation uniform.
Oh, man.
Which I think was probably the lamest of the Star Trek uniforms, but at the same time, to me,
yeah, it was. I mean,
it was like we look like dorks and we don't give a shit.
These days it would be more recognizable than if you wore like an original episode uniform, unless you was like a Captain Kirk or like Spock or somebody like that. Like most people these days don't.
If I just wore black pants and a blue shirt, people wouldn't get it.
And it's more people who see like a Next Generation costume and they're like, oh, Star Trek Next Generation.
That's true. That's pretty iconic.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's more of an iconic thing, even though there's like only like 4 or 5 episodes of that show that I really like. I really love the original, even though it's cheesy, even though it's like
so 60s.
Yeah. I just love it.
That's fine, man. It's a good, yeah. I never could get into it because it was a little too dated for me, but that's fine.
I mean, it's still, and like I said, like I've tried watching Next Generation all the way through. I just can't do it.
I get it.
I can only watch there's 4 or 5 episodes that if I'm in the mood for a Next Generation, those are 4 or 5 episodes that I always go to, and they never let me down.
All right.
And the one that I really love is the one where Picard becomes one of the Borg. That's my all-time favorite.
Best of both worlds, man.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorites.
That's a fantastic episode.
So we're nerding out on Star Trek.
We are.
So I want to move on.
All right.
Because this one this one's another one that I don't know if you want to go there. Should I do the Home Depot story now, or should I do this one?
Do the Home Depot story.
Okay, but I really want to talk about these pronoun things that's going around.
Oh, really? Oh, Shayne, fucking...
Not just regular pronouns, but the neo pronouns.
Oh, this has been beat to death.
Has it?
Oh, it's like somebody took a horse, right? Back here's what's up. Back in the year of our Lord, 2016. Somebody took
Okay.
a horse and said, you know what? We're going to beat this thing to death.
I'm going to delete
people have
this one.
kept beating it to death for the last 7 years.
Then I'm deleting it.
It's so beat to death.
I realize it is, but are the neo pronouns beat to death? Or neon? Neo?
Neo, which is Greek for new.
But here, explain this to me, because this is where I was confused.
Yeah.
Isn't pronouns one of those things where people don't want to be labeled? They want to be like they, them kind of thing, right?
That's literally what a label is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But is it like non-binary people don't want to be labeled? Am I correct or am I way off?
You're way off. If you're choosing a pronoun, you're choosing a label for yourself.
Then what's non-binary?
Non-binary is not man or woman.
Okay. Got it. So
or not just man or just woman.
Okay, so they could be they, them, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers out there.
No, you're not ruffling feathers.
So the neo ones sound like to me are just fucking made up words.
Yeah, there's kids making up new words because they want to fucking feel special or whatever. And they have very supportive teachers who are
they tell them they're one in a million, or they're you get a trophy for participating.
Yeah, you're great just how you are, and I'll use the program Aachen to describe you. Sure, no problem.
That was one.
Yeah.
They always look like people too that just look like they really want to not fit in.
Or they really want to fit in a not fitting in kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of it. That's all I wanted.
All right.
I think I could tell the Home Depot story.
All right, yeah.
So today, actually this afternoon, I went to Home Depot to get a fucking towel rack for my bathroom.
Okay.
Because ours broke somehow.
Yeah.
Probably because it was old, whatever.
Towel racks break?
Yeah. I went to Home Depot because I was like, Home Depot probably has one. Mm-hmm. And I found the towel rack I wanted, except it was on the wall in the display and I couldn't find one underneath it. So I see a guy walking down the aisle and I'm like, hey, can you get me this towel rack? And you know what he says to me?
What does he say to you?
He says, this is not my section. Let me get somebody that it's their section. So he walks to a little intercom. He says, give me a name. Give me a name.
Petunia.
Petunia, could you come to aisle 75? We're just making up aisles now, too. I don't even know if there's 75 aisles in Home Depot.
Why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
Could you come to aisle 75? We need somebody to get a new towel rack. Mm-hmm. So Petunia comes, who looks at the towel rack that I'm looking at, says, yeah, we might have that in stock. Let me get somebody from the back. Mm-hmm. Goes back over to the loudspeaker. So one person, two persons. Mind you, this thing's only maybe 10 or $11.
Yeah.
Walks over to the little intercom thing. Mm-hmm. It says, John J. Could you bring up a towel rack? Item number, gives him the item number for the towel rack I want. John J comes up, empty-handed. He looks at the towel rack. Mm-hmm. He says, yeah, we got that one in stock in back. Mm-hmm. Walks all the way to the back.
Yeah.
Grabs me by my towel. It took 3 people to help me get a towel rack.
So it took 3 people 20 minutes to help you get a towel rack.
Longer than 20 minutes.
Oh, shit.
I want to say it was more like a half an hour. We're not even at the best part of this whole thing yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I get the towel rack finally. John J brings me the towel rack. Mm-hmm. After waiting in it, because it was literally, it was 15 minutes. We're going to say 25 minutes at this point.
Okay.
So he comes back, hands me the towel rack. Mm-hmm. I go get in line. All the self-checkouts it's a fucking madhouse at the self-checkout. So I get in a line behind this old dude. Then I'm like, okay, it's just him. He's only buying a couple things.
Right. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Mm-hmm. Guess what this guy was paying with?
Pennies.
No.
Nickels?
No.
Dimes?
No.
Quarters?
No. A good old-fashioned check.
Paper check. Where you whip out a pen.
Yes, who he makes it out to.
Yeah, and you're right. Okay, I pay to the order of Home Depot. Yes. That's with the T at the end.
This is exactly how it went down. Exactly how it went down. Mm-hmm. And then they go through, because he's never written a check there, and the lady working the cashier apparently has never taken a check.
Yeah, no, I'm sure she hasn't.
So she had to call manager over to show her how to. This is another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm in Home Depot for 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
And this guy, so they ask him to sign, they ask him to use the little pen thing that you use to sign your credit card with, to sign for his check, right?
Okay.
He's like, oh, it's not working. So he brings out his pen that he wrote the check with, and he signs his name on the little screen.
With his fucking ballpoint pen? I've seen that before. I have seen that before. That's great.
And the lady stops him and says, well, wait a minute. It's not working because we have to enter your ID. He's like, oh, now I need a goddamn ID. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
What do you want my firstborn kid to do? And he's getting a little grumpy. I'm fucking, at this point, I'm not even worried about the time. I'm fucking thoroughly entertained by this at this point. By this guy getting all fucking grumpy at the little girl trying to figure out how to take a check for the first time.
All right.
And then he has the audacity. He hasn't even filled out how much the check is for yet.
All right. Tell me about his audacity.
He says, can I write it over? And she says, sure. And he said, and so she's getting the change back. They finally figure out how to run the check through.
Yeah.
And he says, so can you give me, sweetheart, can you give me the money back in fives? She's like, you want $40 back in fives? He's like, yeah.
All right.
He gets his money back. And then he fucking starts walking out and he leaves the stuff that he bought. And I'm like, sir, you forgot your stuff there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, sorry to keep. By the time this guy got done, I was the last customer in this lady's line and she was going on lunch. That's how long it took.
Yep. I believe it.
It just blew my mind that people still, who uses checks? These apparently old people still use checks. But I'm kind of an old guy. I don't use checks.
I went to the garbage store today, used my phone.
Yeah. There's all kinds of different nifty ways to pay for things these days.
Yeah.
You don't got to use regular paper checks.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing I was looking at when I was there. I was thinking about this. You know what are the worst fucking protein bars on the market?
What?
Or the worst kind of granola bars on the market are those Kind bars.
I love those Kind bars.
Do you love Kind bars?
Dude, so here's the thing. They make good Kind bars.
Where?
And they make bad Kind bars.
I've only had the bad ones.
All right, well, there you go. You've only had the bad ones.
What are the good ones?
Good ones are good.
I don't know, dude. They're all chewy and they all fucking stick to the roof of my mouth.
They are chewy and they will stick to the roof of your mouth.
I don't like them.
All right, well, if you don't want a chewy, fucking sticky bar, then don't get a Kind bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were on sale for like, you could get a pack of 20 of them at Home Depot for like fucking $5 or something. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Those are probably the bad ones with like the fucking drizzle on top or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bunch of garbage.
Yeah. It just, they don't look, I bought some a couple weeks ago just because they were on sale. Again, they were on sale. I didn't buy them at Home Depot, of course. But dude, I threw them out after having like 2 of them. They were just the worst.
All right.
Worst. I hate them.
You hate them.
I hate them.
All right. Stop buying them.
I did.
Good.
After that, I was like, no more.
Yeah.
No more Kind bars for me. They're not that kind to your mouth.
No, they're not. They will fucking pull the fillings out of your teeth.
Yeah. It didn't feel good. Here's another thing I wanted to ask you, because you're a video games guy.
Yeah, I enjoy video games.
And I've been known as, I was listening to a buddy of mine's podcast. Remember Dan, the guy that Casting Views that we were guest on?
Casting Views, yeah.
He was talking about getting upset at when he's playing video games. And I was wondering if that's actually a thing. Like, do you get like super angry? Because I've seen videos of dudes like throwing their fucking controllers at the TV and fucking flipping out over a video game.
Yeah.
Do you get that upset, or do you get upset at all, or do you just let yourself know that it's just a fucking video game?
Depends on the game. I can get upset when I'm gaming, but not enough to throw the equipment. One time I was gaming on a laptop and this asshole came up behind me with a giant rubber band he used for like physical therapy. And he fucking like really stretched it out, and then he snapped it at me.
Like in real life?
Yeah, in real life.
Like not part of the game?
No, not part of the game. He fucking did this in real life while I'm playing my game. And that pissed me off.
That would piss me off too.
It pissed me off enough that before I had a chance to think, I had thrown my computer at him.
But have you ever do you get all emotional? Like I see people getting all emotional like when they lose games or like you know what I mean? Like I watched a video of a guy crying because he lost fucking I don't know what game it was, but he lost some game.
There have been people who killed themselves over video games.
Why?
I think that's a bit of a bit too much of a overreaction personally. Yeah. But
I don't understand. See, it's like that video games, and I don't understand people that get all personal because, like, I love football. I'm a football guy. I watch college football. I watch regular pro football.
Yeah,
I'll fucking watch the XFL when it's on.
All right, you gonna name more footballs you could watch?
No.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I never get so like, and I love my favorite team's the 49ers. But I never get so emotionally involved where I'm like throwing shit at the TV when they lose.
Yeah.
Or like I'm pissed off at my friends that rooted for the other team.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've never been like that.
Me neither. And I've never understood people who are.
Dude, I've watched football with guys that are like that. I've watched two best friends get into a fist fight because the other guy was making fun of the guy's team that lost to his team.
I don't get that all. I have felt the ecstasy of victory when my team has won. I have felt the despair when my team has like lost and they were so close, you know. But I would always like be able to sleep soundly that night, you know.
Yeah,
it would not be a fucking live or die kind of thing for me.
I got a funny story about that.
Yeah.
Most people know, most people I guess most people out there don't know that my actual job is I take care of disabled adults. I got a client and he is a big Raiders fan, like a big Raiders fan, like been a Raiders fan his whole life. His whole room is black and silver.
Black and silver.
He loves the Raiders, even though he doesn't know who's on the Raiders these days because he has dementia.
Oh yeah.
But like he still thinks Ken Stabler is like the quarterback.
All right.
But whatever. This morning, he's wearing his Raiders hat, and I'm like, dude, you can't wear that hat because you're going to work, right? He's like, why? Raiders a bad team? I'm like, it's not even football season yet. He's like, what? Raiders a bad team? Like he starts getting in my face about it. I'm like, bro, it's not football season yet. You still got a couple weeks away. Dude gets all mad at me, right?
Yeah.
For like 5 minutes. He's like furious at me. Right? I go back into he like stomps back out, takes his hat off. And I'm like, you can't wear the hat because you're going to your work and they don't want you wearing a hat at work. That's the only reason you can't. I don't care about the Raiders. He's like, oh, Raiders a bad team. You don't like the Raiders. And I'm like, I didn't say I didn't like the Raiders. I said it's not football season yet. And it's 7:30 in the morning. I don't need an attitude right now, buddy.
Yeah.
I really don't need an attitude right now. So I'm going to close the door. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to chill out.
Yes.
Because usually if you give him a couple minutes to chill out, he just completely forgets what you were talking about.
The beauty of dementia.
Yeah. So I give him a couple minutes. I throw on wrestling for him. And he comes back out. He's wearing his Raiders hat again. And I'm like, dude, you can't wear the Raiders hat because we're going. And I'm like laughing at this point. Right. I'm like, because you're going to day program, that you're going to work and they don't want you wearing a hat. Are you laughing because the Raiders are a bad team? And I'm like, it's not football season yet. You still have football season doesn't start for another 4 days. The Raiders are 0-0. So they're a pretty good team. And he looks at me and he goes, playoffs? And I'm like, yeah, sure, playoffs.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. Goes in, takes off his hat. He's like, happy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It was like 10 minutes. I don't normally tell work stories, but this one got me this morning.
Yeah.
And like the rest of the car ride did when I was giving him a ride to his work. He was like, sorry. You, my friend, sorry. This is one of those guys that gets really invested
in his team.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me. It wasn't even football. So that's why it's like, it wasn't even football season yet. And he's like, oh, Raiders a bad team. Like he wanted to go, dude. He was like coming up to me, getting in my face a little bit. I'm like, buddy,
Yeah.
Just chill.
You have to remember to except when it's going to like cause some kind of tragedy, just tell the demented what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was like, dude, there's 0, it just killed me. I just started laughing so hard because I was like, dude, it hasn't started yet. It's 4 days away. There's 0. And he was like, playoffs? And I was like, sure.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
All right.
So yeah, we kind of gave you guys a lot of nothing today, I think.
Yeah, fuck it.
Maybe gave you something to think about.
Yeah, pickleball. Let's recap. Pickleball, Jugger is a thing.
Jugger's a thing.
Home Depot.
How do you spell that? Maybe
suck.
that's going to be the title of the episode.
Jugger's a thing.
Jugger's a thing. How do you spell that?
Jugger.
Text me it after.
Yeah, you got it.
People love that last one.
Yeah. What was the last one?
The last one was one you came up with too. Was
the 3 urinal problem. Was that it?
Yeah.
But
you guys didn't even talk about the urinal problem until the end of the episode. I'm like, well, you got to listen.
You got to listen, man.
You got to listen.
If you
do the same shit when I'm listening to a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start like maybe 10 minutes into the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll listen to the good stuff, like because the good stuff of an episode is usually in the middle to me, and then I'll listen to the end, right? Because I like recapping. Counts as a download, even though I've only listened to, maybe 10 minutes of the whole episode.
I have a question.
Huh.
When you crack open a book, you one of those people who reads the last page first?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's a stupid thing to do. I
read the summary.
The summary. I never read the summary.
Really?
Because when I start a book, man, like I want to be surprised all the way through. If I read the summary, here's the thing. They try to make it so that there's not like spoilers in the summary.
Right.
But the whole fucking time, I'm going to have that swimming around my head being like, oh, what did that mean? Oh, I think I know what's going to happen now. And most of the time I'm right. And then it's like, oh, wow, that would have been a really great surprise. That'd have been an awesome twist if I didn't know that was coming.
Thanks, summary.
Yeah. So I don't read the summaries.
No, I've always done it that way. Or sometimes what I'll do is if I don't want to know nothing about the book, I'll start in the goddamn middle of the book.
What? That makes no sense.
Dude. And then I'll go back. I'll open up a page in the middle of the book, see if I like how it is in the middle of the story. Mm-hmm. This is how I get to buy a book, right? If I want to buy a book, this is what I do.
I get that.
Right?
That I get.
I don't do it all the time. It's when I want to buy a book.
Yeah.
I open the book to the middle of the book page, middle of the book, and I'm like, okay.
Just read a couple pages.
Just read a couple pages and see if like it's something I'd want to buy.
Yeah.
Based on the middle of the book, without looking at the summary, without looking at the end of the book.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
But if it's a book, like most of the time when I've had to do reports on books or whatever for school or whatever, I've always read the summary first.
Oh, yeah. No, if you need to do a book report for school, don't read the whole fucking book.
Yeah. If I'm reading a book on my own,
yeah,
sometimes I'll read the last page first, just to see how it ends.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'll by the time I get done with the book, because I'm not that fast of a reader, like I'll completely forget that I've read the fucking end of the book anyway.
See, I won't. I will fucking every goddamn page. I'll be fucking like, I'll be fucking fortune telling and looking into the future of this book and being like, oh yeah, I bet that's foreshadowing. Yep. Yeah. And it fucking ruins it for me.
Yeah. See, it doesn't ruin it for me too much. I always like it because if I'm going to buy a book, I'll open up to the middle of the book and be like, okay, I bought a Tom Clancy book that like that. I can't remember what book it was, but I was just like, I was taking a flight and I was like, I really need something to read on this flight because it was like a Southwest flight and there wasn't any fucking, you couldn't watch anything on Southwest.
Yeah. They don't have like the screens.
So I was like, I'll get a book. I'll get a book. And I open up this Tom Clancy book at the airport to the middle of the book. And it was like, this exciting shit, right? This guy gets away from that guy blows something up, kind of stuff. I'm like, I'll get this book.
Yeah.
Right? I wound up finishing it. Like, I think I started it on the flight there and I finished it on the flight home. Mm-hmm. And it was a pretty good book. I still can't remember the name of the book, but
really doesn't
I
matter.
bought a Tom Clancy book that way.
There you go.
But yeah, we were in the middle of a recap and we kind of went off on a tangent.
That's fine. We do that. That's sort of our thing.
Yeah.
I think, no, we got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that enough? Are we done?
Yeah, the end.
The end.
The end.
Yeah, if you guys have listened all the way through, are we going to leave it pondering with something else until next time? I kind of like leaving people with something to ponder until we come back.
You want to give them something to ponder?
I have nothing.
All right.
I was hoping you had something.
Yeah. No, I got something. Just let me think of it first.
Yeah. What was I going to call this episode again? Jugger is what?
Jugger is a thing?
Jugger is a thing. That's right.
We could. Anyway, okay. Ponder this. If you ate a banana, did you open it from the tip with the handle?
Ooh.
Or the tip without the handle?
Ooh. And that tells a lot about a person.
Yeah, and why?
That's good.
Thank you. I really struggled to come up with something on the spot
but you
there.
came up with something good.
Yeah.
Because that's something we could do. Because that's actually a thing.
That is a thing. And that gives us something to talk about next episode.
Let us know, man, if you've listened all the way through. If you're a banana eating person. Because I do it from the tip. All right. I guess I got to wait.
We got to wait.
Okay. Until next time, America.
Until next time.
Ponder that.